Yes, everyone, welcome along to another episode of the Celtic View Podcast. I'm your host, as ever, Ryan Marr, and it's a very warm welcome to our very special guest for this episode. It's musician, rapper, Celtic superfan. It's none other than Bemz. Thank you so much for joining us. How's things?
Not bad, mate, not bad. Thank you so much for having me, you know?
No, very, very, very welcome. Yeah, we're in Celtic Park doing this. You've been coming to Celtic Park as a fan, but in the last 12 months you've been coming here a fair bit more often, haven't you?
Yeah. It's so good to actually see like the behind the scenes stuff of the stadium, you know. But it never gets old, you know. Every time I come back, I'm still just like, Jesus, I'm here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's great. So thank you for having me again, you know.
We need to get you a wee staff pass. You can just come in and out whenever you want.
Yo, you heard that, right? I want that. Celtic FC, I need my staff pass.
You'll never leave there if you
I would not, I can't lie.
Parking yourself in the change.
I can't lie, I'll just be chilling, just be like, it's happening, Brendan, you right?
Well, we've got a lot to discuss. We're going to chat Celtic. There's something very exciting you were involved in that we're going to chat, and also we need to talk to you about music. So why don't we kind of start there? Just talk to us about how life's been for you recently and what's been happening in the world of Bims.
It's been crazy. So since the last time we spoke, we've done a tour, which was mad. Done the biggest headline show in Glasgow, which was even crazier, sold out. And there's like side note, there was so many people. I'll show you the picture after. There's just so many people in the front row in their Celtic tops, man. It was the funniest thing ever. Released a new EP, was Nova's dad. And just really just been living a soft life. Do you know what I mean? Like travelling here and there, playing shows, you know, can't really complain, you know?
Yeah. There's going to be lots of Celtic fans that watch this and listen to this that know about your music, that see you in social media repping the Celtic shirts anytime you're performing as well. But there might be some people that don't know too much about you. So why don't you give yourself an introduction to people about who you are and what it is you do?
So for those who don't know, I'm Bemz and I'm a rapper. Big Celtic fan. Yeah, that's kind of really it. Yeah, I just make music, and if you haven't, go check it out.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. Check out Bims and anywhere you get your music, because it is you're taking off in recent years.
We're trying, man. We're trying, you know.
We'll chat a little bit more about your music in a little bit. Yeah. But since we're here at Celtic Park, got to chat a little bit about Celtic. It's a club that's now, I mean, it's really, really close to your heart now, isn't it?
Yeah. Like on the next level, do you know what I mean? Just, you know, see from being just a fan to like doing work with you guys, do you know what I mean? Like being here, being at the Player of the Year Awards, do you know what I mean? Like
How was that?
Bruh. Words, that was crazy, I can't even lie to you, because I never knew I was gonna meet the players, innit? Like, we were just there, and then Fiona was like, got a little sign for you. Do you know what I mean? And then, yeah, we just ended up going through.
And just meet everybody?
Bro, everybody was there, and I'm just like, yo, like, but obviously I had to play it cool though, innit? You know what I mean? I had to be like,
yeah, of course.
You know, I'm Bemz.
Yeah.
You know.
But inside your heart.
Hey Joe Hart, how you doing, bro? Hey Cameron, how you doing, yeah? Taylor, yeah, my guy, you good, yeah? Do you know what I mean? But inside I was like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a good experience.
Any decent chats?
Not that I can see on the camera, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to build relationships with the players, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. You're learning well. And also, I mean, another big thing that happened recently in terms of music and Celtic was the link up with Ellie Dixon and singing the song for Jota, who unfortunately now is not with us. It sounds like he's passed, but he's left the club. But that must have been a really incredible experience.
Yeah. It was funny, right? The whole situation was hilarious because it was never meant to be anything other than like, you know,
TikTok, yeah.
A laugh, bro. Like, see, when I recorded the TikTok, I sent it to my boys and I was like, haha, how funny is this? And they were like, put it out, and I was like, no, like, not happening, because it was just literally for banter. Like, even my management and my PR, they did not even know about it. Do you know what I mean? And just seeing that go from, you know, TikTok to Jota hearing it, to doing the what's called bits and pieces with L for, you know, like Sky and stuff for Celtic and everything. Yeah, it was a bit surreal. Do you know what I mean? But I'm quite glad that I listened to my friends and put it out now. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if not, it would have been sat in my draft. You know. But now, yeah, like you say, he's gone now.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I know. One of the other more surreal experiences that you've had to do with Celtic recently is we've got a third kit coming out very, very soon, and you are front and centre of it all. I mean, there might be some bits you can't give away about the kit, and I know that you're still wanting to see the video of it.
Yeah.
You can't show it yet, but talk us through that. What was that experience like?
Again, crazy. See, just when we got the opportunity to know that we were going to be part of that, it's kind of like again, I always, so when it comes to Celtic, it's funny because obviously as like the rapper Bemz, it's like, yeah, you know, this is what should be happening. But obviously as like a fan, I'm like, yo, what? Do you know what I mean? Like so it's always kind of tough to process these things, because it's like, as a fan, it's like a dream come true to even be not only affiliated with the club in some capacity. Obviously, I'm not like Celtic, and Celtic is not me or whatever, but see, just to be able to even sit here and talk to you about music and Celtic and stuff is one thing, but being able to like, bruh, like, it's me in the third kit. Yo, do you know how crazy that is? Do you know what I mean? Like,
what was your reaction when you got the call to say, look, we're shooting this third kit and we want you to be involved?
I was losing it, and then I remember speaking to like my manager and that, and obviously like bless them, because they're not like big football fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, they obviously know about Celtic and football and stuff, but they're not like crazy about it as me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm on the phone to them and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Just non-stop. I just couldn't believe that, you know, I was getting such an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I can't wait for everybody to see it, and I hope that everybody takes to it the way I did, type thing. Do you know? So,
but it's funny because there's so much work that goes into these things, isn't it? It's such a big day. What do you think about that experience?
Bro, the whole experience was mad. Do you know what I mean? But then again, see, for me, it kind of went by too quick, because, like I said, I was just buzzing to be there. Do you know what I mean? Just like so buzzing to be there. And then obviously I seen the kit and I was like, all right, cool. Got it on, done what I had to do. And then they were like, all right, okay. All the players are coming on. I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean? And I'm grateful for Adidas, Celtic, and JD, because I was like, can I just like stay? And they were like, yeah. And I just got to just stand and just watch the whole thing happen. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the whole day was a very, very surreal experience. Do you know what I mean? And definitely a bucket list thing that I can tick off now, you know?
But I think, you know, someone like you being there is actually a really good thing, because the players always need a hype man for these things, because the people taking the pictures are always trying to get them like smiling as much as they can. You just there in the background.
Bro, like literally, that's what they said to me. Like, even like the guys for Adidas and JD, so they were like, it's so good to actually like have a fan there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously they have all the staff who work for Celtic and stuff, but they were like, you know, me being involved in it, not just as Bemz, but like as a fan. Do you know what I mean? They were like, kind of brought something fresh to it, you know? And I was like, hey, that's what I'm here for. I was like, any more shoots you want to do, just let me know. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, it was great.
The hardest thing about the whole experience, and, you know, we're even the same as well, because you get to see it, is keeping your mouth shut, isn't it? You can't tell anybody.
My God, that has honestly been the hardest thing ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, being able to like keep it away from like the people closest to me type thing, do you know? Especially even on a day where people are like, oh, what are you up to? I'm like, none. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, I'm just chilling. And one of my friends is like, oh, I'll just come to your house. I'm like, nah, I'm not in the house. And he's like, what are you up to? I was like, just out and about, like trying to find ways to not say anything, But I guess now that when it all comes out, they'll all be like,
I see, yeah.
So, but it's going to be a big moment, a big moment, not just for me, but for like everybody around me and the people who know how much I support the club, and also for hopefully it's a big moment for Celtic as well,
Yeah, and that is the thing as well, like you're getting this amazing opportunity to do this, but also for yourself and your career and getting that extra visibility, and people maybe being like, okay, I'm going to listen to this guy's music as well.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully for yourself, this could just go leaps and bounds.
100%, and I've noticed it already, just even from the little work that we've done with Celtic so far. I say little, but you know what I mean. Like, I've noticed it. Like, just the way the fans have taken to me. Obviously, not everybody is like, oh my God, there's that rapper Bemz. You know what I mean? But like, a majority of people are like, this is so cool. And I guess maybe they see just a fan getting to do cool things with the club that they love. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's already been there. Like I say, coming to my headline gig in Glasgow, and like front row, and there's just people in their Celtic tops and that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just crazy to actually feel the love from the support, and long may it continue.
Yeah. Big question is, for the kit, are you a fan?
Oh yeah. Like,
it's cool. It's different, isn't it?
See, when I first seen it, I was like, and then I put it on, and I was like, yeah, I can dig this.
Yeah.
I can dig this.
Well, since you're involved in it, see if this Surge kit does better than last year's Surge kit sales-wise, then I hope you got something in your contract, It's like...
Listen, all I want, and I've said this, I need a season ticket. That's it. I've been on the waiting list for 4.5 years now.
Is that true?
Bro, I can show you my email of when they took £10 out of my bank account to put me on the list, and I'm still waiting. Obviously, I'm fortunate enough to have people who give me the tickets, or I buy my tickets, or I've got a friend who has a box here as well, so I can get 2 games, but
it's the next step.
Yeah, I need one. So yeah, if it does well, I don't want anything. I don't need money. I don't need nothing. I'm a very, very simple man to please.
Yeah.
Season ticket.
Well, the journey for you actually starting to support Celtic, we'd sat down and spoken to Celtic View about a year ago. So it started a little bit late in your life because you didn't come to Scotland until a little bit later in your life.
Yeah.
When you moved to Stranraer.
Yeah, like it's just crazy, innit? It's like, you come to Scotland and straight away, it's kind of like one of the first questions you're asked, isn't it? It's like, what's your colour? Do you know what I mean? And for me, it just made sense. I'm Nigerian. Do you know what I mean? Like, the green, white, green, like it's a bit of me. Do you know what I mean? Like you cut me open, and that's what I am, So that's where it kind of initially started. And, fast forward all those years now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You got any kind of special Celtic memories of games, even when you maybe first started supporting the club, or players that you really remember that stand out?
For me, what's kind of the one I would probably say the most would be Hooper, right? And that's just because my first ever kind of like Celtic kit, well, it wouldn't be my first, but like the one that I bought with my own money. Yeah, I got number 88 at the back of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, like Hooper, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's my guy, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, and, I remember coming to, later on in the year, well, in the years to come, coming to a Champions League game and everything like that as well, and just the atmosphere.
And then it just
a
sticks
lot,
to you.
a lot. It's been a lot. Like, see, just thinking about it, I'm just like, yeah, those are actually like fond memories of it. Do you know what I mean? And just feeling like you're part of something. Do you know what I mean? That's bigger than you. Like meeting up in the Brazen Head, for example, and coming to the games with all the wee oldies and that. Do you know what I mean? And they just got all the stories to tell you and everything. And yeah, it's been a a brilliant journey.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
A lot of the time as well, like you come to Scotland and you pick a team for those reasons. It's the green and white, and maybe some other reasons as well. And then it's not a lot of time until you actually come to the stadium, isn't it? And you feel that connection.
100%. Because I'll be very honest, when I first came to Scotland, like, I was like, yeah, I like Celtic. If I had to choose, it'd be Celtic. I wasn't really like a, Glasgow Celtic through and through type thing, you know? And it wasn't until, like you say, you know, you start coming to the games, you start being just in it, you know? And that's when you actually get a newfound love for what this is about. Do you know what I mean? And it also helped, you know, like, I've had people in my life that I've met over the years who are big Celtic fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, the mother of my child, her family are big Celtic fans, you know. And that's obviously a bonus because now, you know, we can bring our daughter to the games and everything, you know, and have those kind of special moments as well, which just kind of solidifies the love for the club, you know. So,
well, I mean, Stranraer's quite an important place then in your life, isn't it? It's
yeah,
where you came to.
Yeah.
How old were you when you moved up to?
Like 14, 15.
14.
Yeah,
You started getting into Celtic. Would you say that's kind of the start of your music?
Oh
journey as well,
100%. Which is so funny because I always say this, you never actually hear of a rapper say they started their career in Stranraer, do you know what I mean? Out of everywhere, you know, but Stranraer played a very, very big part in just my identity and who I am as a person and just my love and appreciation for things in Scotland, do you know what I mean? So, a lot of things were birthed in Stranraer, do you know?
Yeah.
And this is just one of them, you know?
So talk us through your journey into music then and how it all started to really form itself together. I take a big drink because I think it's going to be a long story.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy one, do you know what I mean? So the music one is kind of interesting. So obviously I grew up in London and music has always kind of been like just part of my life. It's just there. And I used to be like a guy just like sitting in his room just rapping with like my older brother and stuff. Like, but it was never really like anything, do you know what I mean? And then obviously I come to Scotland, I'm in Stranraer, and again, and it's just like, it's just a hobby, do you know what I mean? Like there ain't really much to do in Stranraer, do you know what I mean? And you're kind of like so far away from everything else, you know? So yeah, so I just started just like going to my friend's house, just rapping, entered a few competitions, and it was kind of like, I'm kind of like decent at it, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it just kind of went on and on. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to be a teacher, like an English teacher. And then obviously done my hires and everything like that. And it's so funny because I only ended up leaving with like a solid hire in music. So that kind of really like cemented that, right, okay, this is the path I'm going down. So ended up moving to Ayr to do sound production. And it was in Ayr, that's when I met one of my main producers who I work with now, Axel. And it was just through that, it kind of went to the next level. So now it wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was like, I could actually do this. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much potential for this to grow to be something. And obviously at that point in time, there wasn't really much, you know, rappers as such coming out of Scotland, you know, so I kind of knew that I had a challenge in my hand, but for me it was still just fun, do you know what I mean? It was just like, we just do it and just hope for the best. And then, again, the people in Ayr showed me crazy love in the sense of, you know, would put on shows and people would come out in numbers, you know? And even when, I remember one of my first shows in Glasgow, after I moved to Ayr, and the promoter coming to me and being like, did you really bring like 50, 60 people from Ayr? And I'm like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, we just took out the whole train carriage. Do you know what I mean? It was just like carnage, you know? And just slowly, the dream started to look more like a reality, you know? And then COVID hit, and by that time I was in Glasgow. And that for me was probably the most important period in the sense of I was on furlough And don't get me wrong, like the first month of lockdown, I was like, yes, holiday, we're going to chill, we're going to relax, you know what I mean? Yeah, drank too much alcohol during lockdown, I can't lie. And then, but see, once I phased out of that, it was realizing that, oh crap, like, I have an opportunity to get paid to make music, which was never really something I had before. And then I found I was going to be a dad, and I was just kind of like, right, it's either I give up music or I double down and bet on myself. Do you know what I mean? And I betted on myself. Do you know what I mean? And like they say, the rest is history. Do you know what I mean? Here we are.
But it comes with its challenges though, that doesn't it?
Oh,
because
yeah.
It's not just a case of that all sounds very, very linear, that you do this thing and then you get that, and you do this thing, you get that. But there's so many sacrifices you have to put in for something like that.
100%. 100%. Over the years, I've had to sacrifice a lot, whether it's like a bit of myself, you know, relationships with people, spending time with my daughter, which is obviously like the main one now, and then just like even just finances and stuff like that, just being able to just be so, but I guess that it really comes with the fact that I am deluded by it, you know, like in my head I'm like, there's absolutely nothing that is stopping me to get to where I need to get to, you know, and being a little bit deluded is realizing that you have to make a lot of sacrifices to actually get where you need to get to. Do you know what I mean? And but obviously that's not, you know, it's not glamorous, isn't it? I don't want to be here and be like, it's so tough. Do you know what I mean? It's so hard. Do you know what I mean? Like it is tough and it is hard, but you know, the rewards are
when you see what you're doing now.
it.
I mean, it's.
Do you see what I'm talking about? You know, if I didn't double down and bet on myself all those years ago, you know, to relate it back to this, would I be here talking to you? Probably not. Would I be, you know, part of a kit launch? Definitely not. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just all these things that you start to, you know, when you reap these rewards is when you're like, yeah, it's so worth it. But then it makes you even more deluded because I'm like, well, if I'm doing this now, in the next 5 years, I could be like selling out Parkhead. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you just build on it and build on it and build on it. More sacrifices, but hey.
See, now you've said that in camera. See, when you then get to that point where you're selling out Celtic Park, that's what's going to come up on the big screen.
It should.
You
Yeah. I've even put a tweet up about it as well.
Yeah.
Like I am not joking. Like see how people go and do like Hampden and everything else. That doesn't excite me. See, when I get to that level, it's Parkhead or it's nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I've said that before, and I'll say it on camera again. Yeah, yeah.
I'm wishing for that day to come. I cannot wait for it.
It will come. It's just a matter of. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Do you know what I mean?
Love
so,
it.
Yeah.
Love that attitude. I mean, you've had some amazing rewards so far. You've had some amazing milestones, some amazing gigs. It's probably hard to try and summarise them, but what kind of milestones stand out for you so far in your career?
I mean, there's been a few. I can't lie. Again, to kind of bring it back to, you know, Celtic again. Like I will always remember coming out on stage at Reading and Leeds, and in a retro top, and that's what basically put me on the radar of Celtic, you know. So that was a big moment for me, I guess, because that was the start of something. Selling out King Tut's, that was a special moment because not a lot of like rappers have done that, you know, and it's such an iconic venue. Playing Transmit, selling out my last headline show, my first international booking. Yeah, like, see, for me again, see, just because, you know, as deluded as I am, I know I'm also privileged to be in a position like this, and I know that at any given moment it could all change. So I appreciate every single thing, because every single thing is a milestone for me now. Do you know? It's like playing my first show in London, playing my first show in Manchester, playing my first show in Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Like everything is now becoming like firsts, and because they're becoming firsts, it means that they're special. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot, but yeah.
More to come. What is next? What's happening next in your life? New music? New
Yeah.
shows?
See, when everybody asks me this, they only have one answer, and that's total world domination. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just new music. So the last project that I put out was a little bit, like very, very personal. So it was called Nova's Dad, named after my daughter. But it was very, very much a personal project, just explaining my life over the last 2 years. But it's summer now, and ain't nobody really trying to be crying in a club. Do you know what I mean? So I've got I've got a small project coming out soon, 2 tracks, but they're just more bouncy, kind of summery vibes, and then back to the lab, start working on the next project for next year. Few more shows. I can't really say much. Yeah. But obviously still in festival season as well, so we've got a lot of festivals coming up. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just non-stop.
Yeah. Well, everybody, make sure you're following Bemz on Instagram and Twitter, everything, and that's the place you'll get all the updates.
Literally.
Or threads now, whatever.
Yeah. I'm on threads. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Make sure you're following Bemz,
Yeah.
and you get all the latest everything that's coming out, because you're always active on them, aren't you?
Yeah. I really should stop. Do you know what I mean? I really should just put my phone down.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
Well, since we're sitting here in pre-season as well, I think we need to end just talking a little bit more about the football, because there's been a summer of change for Celtic as well, and we're going into this new campaign with Brendan Rodgers in charge. How are you looking forward to this new season? How do you think we're going to get on?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a dominating season. Well, I hope it's a dominating season.
Again,
Yeah, and obviously, like you say, a lot of big changes, which is, it's a bit of a surprise, but it's not at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Because, it's Celtic. Do you know what I mean? If you do good, people are going to always come sniffing around. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, it's a shame to lose Jota, big hands, that's my guy. But, Rodgers has shown what he's capable of. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even as if I'm sitting here oh my God, Rodgers, what's going to happen? It's actually, I'm yeah, cool, seeing what's the Kyogo's obviously signed on a bit longer, which is amazing. Callum McGregor, of course, Maeda too, so I'm confident, but obviously there's that period of change where things might be a little bit rocky, I mean, I remember when Ange first came and he lost hella games, and I was like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, we sure about this? Do you know? But it happens. But I think with the right backing and support from the board, I think that Celtic will do something special. And in even saying something special, I think that might actually just be maybe a decent run in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Which is kind of what I hope for. Obviously, winning the league and another treble will be great. Do you know what I mean? But it's giving that good Europe run, man. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant if we could get a big win here in the Champions League.
Oh yeah, because it's I remember again being at the game when Celtic played Real Madrid, and just watching that first 50, 60 odd minute of football and being this is glorious. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you just need to take your opportunities and stuff, and you get punished in Europe for these things. Do you know what I mean? But just being able to just watch that and see how well we can play, but just imagine if we just capitalised on that.
I know.
Just non-stop.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
When Callum Gregor hit the post.
Oh man,
that goes in my head every day. I'm just
because it would have been a completely different game. Do you know what I mean? But again, I think you live and learn with these things, and
they'll be better for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think again, having a manager like Brendan Rodgers back in again, do you know what I mean? Someone who's a winner, especially with Celtic. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Long may it continue, man. Do you know what I mean? It's all I can hope for. Do you know? I can't wait to start singing about what's the 10 in a row again. Do you know what I mean? But I won't get carried ahead myself, But
let's not get carried away. And then I suppose when you're seeing the team wearing that third kit next season, that'll bring back good memories, a bit of pride.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be great. Well, one thing that I do want though, actually, I'll ask you that after. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
no.
a lot already.
Yeah, I know.
You're not getting a staff pass, a season ticket.
Playing in Parkhead. Listen, if you don't ask, you don't get. But no, it will be a very, very special moment. You know, especially that first game when the sport hit, and just to know that I was part of putting that out. You know, so yeah, I can't wait for everybody to see it, and even just seeing, just not even the players, just seeing fans, you know, wear it as well. You know, so yeah, it will be great. I hope someone gets Bemz on the back of it. Bemz number 12. Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. I've seen the video, so I think it's gonna go down really well.
Really?
I think it's gonna go down really well.
Really, you kept that one quiet, you know? Can you believe this? They've seen this, and I haven't. So, like, for all those who are watching this and listening to this, I am going to see this at the same time as you lot, and yeah, I'm gonna be as excited as you lot, hopefully, you know.
Well, Bemz, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for bringing the energy, and hopefully this season's a lot of good stuff happening with Celtic and with yourself as well with the music.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for the conversation, and yeah, hopefully see more reviews next season. And hail.
Top man, brilliant, good stuff.
My guy, thank you.